Welcome to Behind the Desk. In each edition, you'll get a sneak peek behind the desk of one of San Isabel Electric's employees. This month's Behind the Desk report is coming to you from our warehouse in Trinidad, Colorado. Hey there, you're standing outside the San Isabel Electric warehouse in Trinidad, and we're about to interview one of our linemen. Here we go. Hey, Roger.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good, how about you?
Good. Can you tell everybody what your name is?
Roger Lemons. Been an employee with San Isabel Electric since May 30th of 2006. Started out in the warehouse and been a lineman for about 11 and a half years here.
Great. And how do you start your workday normally?
I normally come in, joke with the guys a little bit, get started with a few laughs, go through our device, see what we have for service orders, look at emails on the computer, see what the foreman wants to do, and then make a plan from there.
Cool. So what's next?
Well, being I've already done all the preliminary and had a lot of fun made of me this morning, I can grab my stuff and go out to the truck to get ready to head out for the day.
All right. Well, I'll just follow along with you. So what are you bringing with you there?
Electronic devices for getting around today.
Cool.
Phone, what they call the device, and the computer, and then a list of estimate reads.
Gotcha. Okay. So you said you were a lineman for San Isabel for how many years?
11 and a half so far, somewhere around there.
Great. What'd you do before San Isabel?
Lots of different things. Worked as a railroad signalman for about 15 years, but basically worked with electricity, AC and DC theory all my life.
Cool. What type of school or training did you have to do to become a lineman?
Apprentice program, and no postgraduate schooling. It's just all been school of hard knocks and hard work. Have
Cool.
two journeyman certificates, one as a railroad signalman and the other as a high voltage lineman.
Gotcha. And describe your job as a lineman. What do you do every day?
Whatever necessary to keep the power on and people happy.
Nice. Okay. How do you like your job?
I like it. It's anything that, like any work, your job. Some days are funner than others, but all in all, I like what we do outside in the elements. Get the best of four seasons: the heat, the cold, the good, and the bad.
Okay. Now on some personal stuff about you. Do you have kids?
I do. I have 3 kids. 22-year-old daughter in the Army, 20-year-old son going to TSJC and in the baseball program, and an 11-year-old daughter that lives in Raton with her mother and spends a lot of time with me.
Awesome. And how do you spend your free time? We can load up or do whatever you need to do here.
Free time is always a personal project of some sort, whether it be getting ready to go to a drag race with my 11-year-old daughter who races junior dragsters,
Oh, awesome.
hunting, I race mud trucks. There's not much free time. I always stay busy. So.
Cool. You don't like sitting still?
No, I don't sit still. When
Yeah.
I sit still, I fall asleep.
Cool. So how often are you called out? Like on call?
We're on call about once every 8 weeks, but I like to get as much work in as possible, so I take a lot of the other guys' calls. So I get called out quite a bit.
So you're a workaholic?
Don't want to be, but yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah. What's the biggest thing you've missed out on being called out?
Missed out on?
Yeah.
When I was younger, I used to put work first, so I missed a lot of family things. And now I just, kids get a certain age, they don't care if you're around or not, so it's easier to work more. They love me, but they don't care if you're around, you know. Friends are more fun. My youngest daughter, she likes to spend a lot of time with me. When she's at home with me and I get called out, she asks me to stay, but I tell her that's my job. There's little kids out there that are cold and without power, so while you stay home nice and warm, I'm gonna go make sure they can get warm.
Yeah, that's got to be hard. What makes it worth it?
It just there's people out there that depend on us to get the power on, so I feel that's what needs to be done.
Okay. Has a member ever made your day better? And if so, how?
Yeah, they do. Generally, I'm in a good mood when doing work, but when you think sometimes that it's not being appreciated, somebody let you know that they appreciate what you're doing, and they thank you for being there, and it's just not something they're saying. They honestly mean it, so
Yeah,
that makes you feel better.
that's good. Can you think of something you've done to make a member's day better?
Just by doing a good job, and sometimes there's times that they'd be pushed down the list, or it'd be a longer wait time before we got there, and they weren't expecting us to be there that early, or we're really in a need for a new service, or their problem to be fixed, and it happens sooner than expected. That makes you feel good.
That's cool. Have you ever responded to an emergency or a disaster?
I don't know, I guess people look at emergencies and disasters different, but I guess, yeah, it's the normal scope of our work. So what other people's consider an emergency or disaster is just what we deal with.
Yeah.
A lot of times, especially like storms, tearing down multiple poles or pole lines, people look at that as a disaster. I guess I just look at it as my job. So bundle up and get busy and get it done.
What's the last emergency or disaster, or one that sticks out in your head about something you've experienced?
I don't know, I guess I don't really dwell on that a whole lot. I just, when we arrive on something, the biggest, I guess, would be an emergency is protecting the public from a downline or something that could potentially kill somebody. That's an emergency, is making the public safe and then getting the repairs made. So we all deal with it. It could be from low voltage secondary services to high voltage power lines down. It just depends on the situation at that moment.
And what do you do when there's no emergency or disaster? What do you do? What are you doing today?
Estimate reads, service work.
What is that?
Go out. Estimate reads are a list of meters that basically do not communicate. So we go out, get a read so people can be billed correctly, because they don't communicate on our Tantalus system. And I'll do service work, any little miscellaneous or potential hazards that may come in. The MSRs generate a service order, put it on our device, on our phone. We update that every morning. We go through it, priority first, and then work our way down the list. Hopefully everything gets done today, especially priorities or hazards. If not, then you just pick it up tomorrow.
And how does all that help the community and Trinidad and the membership?
Keep the power on, keep the lights on.
Right, so what are you going to do today? Or you
Well,
already kind of answered that.
Yeah, well, I'm headed out now to do my estimate reads. I'll double check on the device to make sure nothing new has come in before I leave. That way I don't have to come back for more material or something I left. But other than that, I'm kind of loaded light today. It's just service work and meter reads, so
Nice.
no heavy lifting today.
Cross your fingers. Hope you didn't jinx yourself.
It can change in a day, it can change in a minute.
So what do you need to do your job today? What's in your truck?
My computer and my list of estimate reads.
That's it.
Pretty heavy list today.
What else do you got in your truck that you normally bring with you just in case to be prepared?
Various materials to fix emergencies or hazards. Kind of all equipped the same, just we're usually loaded up for what we need unless we were doing a construction project. I mean, obviously a construction project's going to involve wire, poles, tubs of material, but for the main part of service work, we're all equipped and we don't have to load anything that day, just get going. So
Okay.
you always got to have your winter gear, because here we are mid-April and it's snow.
Yeah, sure thing. Well, any last words?
No.
Okay. Anything you want people to know about linemen or San Isabel?
Yeah, linemen, they're a lot of fun, different guys. We generally start every morning off by giving each other a really hard time. A lot of joking and pranking go around. A lot of it offend and bother most people, but it seems like if we don't pick on each other like that, the day isn't off to a good start. So you got to kind of be what you do. Be careful what's said around the linemen, because they're always looking for a joke or something to tease somebody about.
An in.
But they're a awesome bunch of guys to work with. a lot of fun and take their job serious.
Right on. Well, thanks for doing what you do, and I'll let you get to it.
Thank you.
Thanks for helping us out.
You bet. Have a good day.
Right, you too.
Bye.